The message arrived at 2:17 a.m., and it was not meant for her. Maya did not wake easily, but that night her eyes opened the moment her husband's phone vibrated on the bedside table. The room was dark. Rain tapped against the window. Arjun slept. Beside her, one arm stretched across the bed, breathing slow and heavy. The screen of his phone glowed again. One message, then another. Then a third. Maya told herself to ignore it. Everyone had late emails, deadlines, emergencies, but something felt wrong. Arjun always kept his phone face down. Tonight it was face up, lighting the ceiling with soft blue flashes. The fourth vibration did it. She reached across him carefully, lifting the phone before the light faded. She did not plan to unlock it. She only wanted to see the name. The message preview appeared. Before she could stop herself. I can't keep hiding this anymore. She deserves to know. Maya's heart stopped. Ria. She knew that name. Arjun's coworker. The one he always said was too ambitious for her own good. The one he complained about at dinner. The one he swore he barely spoke to. Another message appeared. You promised you would tell her. I'm tired of being the secret. The air in the room changed. It felt thinner. Maya slowly placed the phone back where it was. Her hands were steady, but inside, something cracked. She stared at the ceiling until morning, every breath tight, every thought sharp. She did not wake him. She did not confront him. She waited. At breakfast, Arjun acted normal. He asked about her meeting. He kissed her forehead. He checked his phone. Once, then slipped it into his pocket quickly. Too quickly. Maya watched him. She had known this man for 8 years. She knew the way his jaw tightened when he lied. She knew the small pause before he answered a difficult question. That morning, every answer had a pause. Big day? She asked casually. Just regular meetings, he said, not meeting her eyes. She nodded, smiled, let him leave. The door closed. Silence filled the apartment. Maya stood in the kitchen long after his footsteps faded from the hallway. Her reflection in the window looked unfamiliar. Calm face. Still eyes. But inside, her thoughts were racing. Maybe it was about work. Maybe. It was nothing. Maybe she was overthinking. But the words echoed again. I'm tired of being the secret. Secrets do not grow in empty spaces. They grow between people. She walked to their bedroom and sat on the edge of the bed. 8 years. She had built her life around trust. She had left her job in another city to move with him. She had defended him when her parents warned her that fast promotions change people. She had believed in him. Now doubt moved through her like cold water. Instead of crying, she did something else. She opened her laptop. Maya was not impulsive. She was precise, organized, thoughtful. If there was truth to uncover, she would uncover it quietly. She checked their shared calendar. Late meetings had increased in the past 3 months. Friday evenings. Weekend client dinners. Trips that lasted 1 day longer than scheduled. Her stomach tightened. She opened their joint bank account. Most expenses were normal. Rent, groceries, utilities. Then she saw it. A hotel charge, 2 months ago. A location 15 minutes from his office. He had told her he was at a conference out of town that night. Her fingers hovered over the screen. The betrayal was no longer a fear. It was becoming a shape. Clear. Solid. But Maya still needed certainty. She needed facts, not feelings. That afternoon she called him. Hey, she said gently. What time will you be home? Late, he replied quickly. Team dinner. Is Ria going? She asked. There was a pause. Short. Yeah. Whole team is. Of course, she said calmly. Drive safe. She ended the call and stared at the phone. He had lied before. He was lying now. She felt it. Maya stood and walked to the closet. She changed into jeans and a simple jacket. Nothing dramatic, nothing suspicious. She tied her hair back, looked at herself once. If there was truth waiting, she would face it. Restaurant he mentioned was downtown. She arrived early and chose a seat near the entrance, partially hidden behind a tall plant. Her heart beat fast, but her face remained calm. She ordered water and waited. Minutes passed. Then she saw him. Arjun walked in, not with a team, not with colleagues, but alone. And then Ria followed. They were not touching, not laughing, not careless, but there was familiarity in the way they stood close, in the way he leaned toward her when she spoke, in the way she looked at him like someone expecting more. Maya felt the world tilt slightly. They sat at a corner table. Private. Quiet. Maya watched without moving. She told herself she would not cry here. Not in public. Not now. She watched Ria speak first. Her face serious. Arjun listened, rubbing his forehead like he did when stressed. The same gesture he used at home. Then Ria reached across the table and placed her hand over his. He did not pull away. Something inside Maya went still. Not loud. Not explosive. Just still. She stood slowly, walked out of the restaurant without them noticing, and stepped into the night air. The city lights blurred for a moment, but she did not fall apart. She did not scream. She did not call him. Instead, a strange clarity settled over her. This was real. The betrayal was not imagined. But what hurt more was not the image of them together. It was the realization that he had chosen deception again and again, that he had come home each night and looked at her with eyes that held secrets. She walked back to her car with steady steps. On the drive home, memories flashed through her mind. Birthdays, vacations, promises whispered in quiet rooms. Had those moments been real? Or had they already been divided? By the time she reached home, her sadness had transformed into something heavier. Not anger yet, not revenge, but resolve. She entered the apartment and turned on the lights. The place looked the same, familiar, warm, yet it felt different now, like a stage set after the actors had left. She sat at the dining table and waited. An hour later, the door opened. Arjun walked in, loosening his tie. You're still awake? Yes, she said softly. He froze slightly. Something in her tone made him look closer. How was dinner? She asked. Good. Just team stuff. Just team stuff? She repeated. He nodded. Maya held his gaze, long enough for discomfort to grow. Then she said calmly, I was there. The color drained from his face. Silence filled the room, thick and heavy. You followed me? He asked, defensive. I confirmed the truth, she replied. He ran a hand through his hair. It's not what you think. Then explain, she said. He opened his mouth, closed it, looked away. That was enough. In that silence, she saw everything. The lies, the months of distance, the late nights, the hidden messages. I never meant to hurt you. He finally said. Maya almost laughed at the simplicity of that sentence. Hurt was not an accident. It was a result of choices. How long? She asked quietly. He hesitated. 3 months. 3 months of smiles. 3 months of shared meals. 3 months of pretending. Maya nodded slowly. She felt something solid forming inside her. Not chaos. Not collapse. Something structured. Do you love her? She asked. He did not answer immediately. And that silence said more than any words. The last piece fell into place. Maya stood up. I need time, she said calmly. Maya, please. I need time, she repeated. She walked into the bedroom and closed the door. Not slammed, not dramatic, just closed. Behind the door, she finally allowed herself to sit on the floor. Her hands trembled now. Her breath came faster. The betrayal hurt. Deeply. But beneath the pain, something else had begun to grow. A question. What now? Forgiveness? Separation? Or something else? She thought of Ria's message again. She deserves to know. Yes. She deserved to know. And now she did. But knowing was only the beginning. Maya wiped her tears and stood up. Her reflection in the mirror looked different than it had that morning. Stronger. Sharper. Betrayal changes people. It forces them to see clearly. And clarity can be dangerous. As Arjun sat alone in the living room, staring at nothing, Maya made a quiet promise to herself. She would not act out of impulse. She would not lose control. But she would not be powerless either. If he thought deception would end quietly, he was wrong. This was only the beginning. And for the first time that night, Maya felt something that was not sadness. It was determination. Maya did not cry the next morning. She woke before sunrise and lay still, staring at the faint light creeping across the ceiling. Arjun slept on the couch. She had heard him moving around at night, restless, unsure, afraid to come back into the bedroom. The distance between them was no longer invisible. It had shape now. It had weight. She sat up slowly and felt the quiet settle inside her. The pain was still there, sharp and deep. But it was no longer wild. It had turned focused. Revenge was an ugly word. She knew that. It sounded reckless, emotional, dangerous. But what she felt was not reckless. It was controlled. She moved through the apartment calmly, made coffee, opened her laptop, and began to think. 3 months. 3 months of lies. 3 months of secret. Meetings, fake dinners, hidden hotel charges. She did not want to scream at him again. She did not want to beg for explanations. She wanted something else. She wanted him to feel the weight of what he had done, not through anger, through truth. Arjun woke late. He looked tired. His eyes were red. He stood in the kitchen doorway like a guest in his own home. Maya, he began softly. She did not look up from her laptop. You're going to be late for work. He hesitated. Can we talk? We will, she said calmly. Just not now. He searched her face for emotion, anger, sadness, anything he could respond to. But she gave him nothing. That frightened him more than shouting would have. After he left, Maya made her first move. She called a lawyer, not to file anything yet, not to make threats, just to understand her position. She asked quiet, direct questions. What were her rights? What were the financial implications? What documentation mattered? Knowledge gave her stability. She printed copies of their bank statements, screenshots of the hotel charge. She gathered everything in a folder. She was not sure yet how she would use it, but she would not be unprepared. That afternoon, her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. We need to talk. Ria. Maya stared at the screen for a long moment. So Ria had finally decided to step forward. Interesting. Maya typed back one sentence. Tomorrow. 4 p.m. public place. She did not ask why. She did not show emotion. If Ria wanted to speak, Maya would listen, but on her terms. The next day arrived heavy with tension. Maya chose a quiet cafe near her office. Bright lights. Open space. Nothing hidden. She arrived first. When Ria walked in, Maya noticed something she had not seen before. Ria looked tired too. Not glowing. Not victorious. Just strained. She sat down slowly across from Maya. For a moment, neither spoke. Then Ria said, "I didn't want it to happen like this." Maya studied her carefully. Like what? Like secrecy. Maya almost smiled at the irony. Secrecy was a choice. Ria lowered her eyes. He said he was going to tell you. He said he needed time. How thoughtful. Maya replied evenly. Ria flinched. There was no shouting. No scene. Just two women sitting across from each other, connected by one man's betrayal. I didn't plan this, Ria continued. It started as late projects. Long hours. He said he felt alone at home. That sentence hit harder than expected. Alone at home. Maya kept her voice steady. Did he tell you he was unhappy? He said you both had grown distant. Maya let the silence stretch. She remembered. The months clearly. She had been busy with her own work. They had both been tired, but distant. She had not felt distance until he created it. Did you believe him? Maya asked. Ria hesitated. I wanted to. There it was. Not love. Not fate. Desire. Ria continued. He told me last night you found out. I did. I don't want to hide anymore, Ria said, her voice firm now. If he chooses you, I'll step away. If he chooses me, I won't live in shadows. Maya watched her carefully. Ria was not a villain in her own mind. She believed she had fallen into something complicated. She believed feelings justified actions that made everything clearer. This isn't a competition, Maya said quietly. It's about character. Ria looked confused. Maya stood. Thank you for meeting me. That's it? Ria asked. Yes. She left the cafe feeling something unexpected. Not jealousy. Clarity. This was not just about an affair. It was about who Arjun had become. And who she was now. That night, Arjun came home early. They sat across from each other at the dining table like strangers negotiating terms. I met her, Maya said. His face tightened. What did she say? She wants you to choose. He closed his eyes briefly. Maya leaned forward slightly. So choose. It's not that simple, he said quickly. It is, she replied. He looked trapped. I never meant for it to go this far, he said. I felt pressure at work. She understood that world. You were building your own career. We stopped talking. Maya listened without interrupting. So you replaced communication with deception? She asked calmly. He had no answer. For the first time he looked small, not powerful, not confident, just human and flawed. And in that moment, Maya felt the pull of two paths. One path was immediate revenge. She could expose everything at his office. She could send the evidence to HR. She could damage his promotion. She could walk away and make sure he paid socially and professionally. The other path was quieter, more controlled. She could let him sit in uncertainty, let him confront what he risked losing. Revenge was not only about destruction. Sometimes it was about holding power and deciding not to misuse it. I spoke to Aria, she said suddenly. His head snapped up. You did? Yes. Fear flickered across his face. I haven't filed anything, she continued. But I understand my options. Silence fell between them again. I don't want to lose you, he said finally. Then why did you risk it? She asked. He struggled for words. I felt seen by her. Maya absorbed that scene. It hurt, because it was simple. We could have fixed that, she said softly. You chose escape. He looked down at his hands. I need space, she continued. You will stay with your brother for now. Maya. This is not punishment, she said firmly. This is consequence. He nodded slowly. When he packed a small bag and left that night, the apartment felt larger, emptier, but also clearer. Maya walked through each room and felt the echoes of their life together. Photos on the wall, wedding gifts, shared books. She stood in the living room and allowed herself to feel the anger fully. He had risked everything. For attention, for ego, for comfort. Revenge whispered to her again. It offered satisfaction. It promised balance. Expose him. Make him feel humiliation. Make him regret every lie. She imagined sending an email to his manager. She imagined forwarding screenshots. She imagined watching his carefully built career shake. The thought gave her a brief spark of satisfaction. But then she imagined something else. What would that make her? Would it heal her? Or would it tie her to his mistake forever? She sat down and closed her eyes. Revenge is heavy. It requires energy, planning, focus. It keeps the wound alive. Healing is quieter, harder, but lighter. Days passed. Arjun called. She did not answer every time. When they spoke, it was short and direct. No drama. Ria stopped messaging. The silence forced Arjun to sit alone with his choices. One evening, he came to collect more clothes. He looked different, less certain. I ended it, he said quietly. Maya studied his face. Why? Because I realized I was running from myself, he admitted. Not from you. The honesty surprised her. I don't expect forgiveness, he continued. I see what I've done now. Maya felt the tension inside her shift. This was the moment. Revenge often grows stronger when the other person begins to feel regret. When power shifts, she could hurt him now. She could strike when he was vulnerable. Instead, she asked one question. If I had not found out, would you have ended it? He hesitated. And that hesitation told the truth. Maya nodded slowly. Thank you for answering honestly, she said. That night, alone again, she understood something clearly. Revenge would not rewrite the past. It would not erase the messages. It would not restore trust instantly. It would only spread the damage wider. But walking away without consequence felt wrong too. There had to be balance. There had to be accountability without destruction. She opened her laptop one more time. Not to send evidence. Not to expose, but to write conditions. If they were to rebuild, it would not be on old terms. Transparency, counseling, financial separation for now. Time. She would not beg. She would not threaten. She would decide. As she typed, she realized something powerful. Revenge had transformed. It was no longer about hurting him. It was about reclaiming herself. And that shift changed everything.